Hey, what is up YouTube? It's Adam back here, and today I have another video. This time it is my review of my custom clone ARC Trooper from Battlefront 2. And this figure, or this character, was introduced in the game relatively recently, past couple months I believe, and I really felt the need to make a Star Wars figure, and so I decided to do this one. So first off, you'll notice that unlike my other reviews, this figure isn't spinning incessantly while I'm recording. That's because my turntable broke, so I'm going back to my old ways and spinning it by hand when I need to, like right now. But yeah, it's just this little side note. But this figure is actually a combination of two things, mainly decals and hand painting. Although I said it was hand painted in the beginning because, like, literally probably 99% of it is. So the only things that I'll mention first that were not hand painted were the visor, just the visor, the black visor, and the little these little things on the sides of the helmets, the back gray part over here, and this little piece right here. And along with the capes and the decals, they are all from AV Figures, and they're really high quality. And the holsters as well, which add a nice little detail. You can buy them at avfigures.com. So yeah, furthermore, this is an official Phase 2 helmet. It's casted after the original Phase 2 helmet that LEGO made. I bought them again from AV Figures. Unfortunately, only one of them worked. I bought two just in case one of them, like, I had an incident with this one where, as you'll notice, I actually forgot the arc fin, and that's actually not entirely my fault. The reference pictures that I took from a couple months ago, or a month ago or so, he didn't actually have a arc fin originally in the game, but they just recently added it with an update. So I had just finished the figure when somebody pointed that out, and I just was like, I'm done with this figure. I don't want to go back and fill that in. So I could have, but it would have risked ruining the entire helmet, and I didn't have a backup. So I'm sure there's already 8,000 comments pointing that out, but yeah. So yeah, the helmet is just a Phase 2 LEGO helmet, essentially. And I painted the black line that goes across the visor. The visor, again, is a decal. I painted all the dark red going around and over the visor and the fin. And then this is a CAC antenna that was glued on. I chopped the little connector piece off because this one didn't have holes for accessories. So I chopped that off and I just glued it, which does limit mobility, but it looks nice. So yeah, it just is dark gray and then red at the top. And then the capes are painted, or this one is actually glued onto the torso, so I can't show a real good view of the torso, but the torso piece itself, the ARC Trooper torso, is actually hand sculpted and painted in a dark gray apple barrel color, just like the part of the antenna and the wrists and the legs. So yeah, this was originally painted on the newer Jedi Clone Trooper Battle Pack, the body of the Clone Trooper, and some blank white legs and the blank helmet, like I said already. And yeah, so that was pretty interesting to do. I never have sculpted an ARC Trooper torso, so it was something different, and it looks really nice, honestly. And so the next piece that I will mention is that you can see that I actually painted the black underneath the arms and for the undersuit that the clone troopers wear, and I think that looks really nice. It goes all the way back, and then there's this is basically a blank back piece, except for the two pockets that I painted, which you can't see, but I actually I did paint those, and the backpack itself is actually a CAC backpack. It's a little bit hard to see, I know, but it's actually a CAC backpack that I painted black, and I cut off the two connector pieces, and I put some toothpicks in, and I made the Battlefront 2 ARC Trooper battle pack, or backpack, not battle pack. And I cut off the neck connector piece and I glued it onto the back just to make it, because it would have made the character a little bit too tall, so I decided to get rid of the connector piece and just glue it on. And yeah, so I also gave him 2 Clone Army Customs DC-17 Rex pistols. I feel like that's the wrong name for them, I don't know. Not very good with my names, as you can tell, but yeah. So, and then the arm design is something new I've been working with. It's just you can see the shoulder pad. There's three black lines, one underneath the shoulder pad, and then 2 more to create the elbow piece and separate the wrist piece. So yeah, and then I painted a dark red line down the middle and on the elbow pad. And then you can see, actually I'll flip it around, you can see I painted even underneath. It's fully detailed underneath, and I did the same with the legs, which I'll get to in a minute. And you can see that I sculpted on the wrist rocket type thing, and I painted the little tip of the missile, or the rocket I mean, and I painted the rest dark gray. And then over here we have a communicator piece, painted dark gray, and again I did all the detailing around. The arms are a little loose, so it allows that detail to stay from rubbing off. So yeah, you can see I painted the insides of the arm. I might actually just remove this, hold on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so you can see I painted the undersides of everything, the elbow pad, the communicator, the arm, just everything was painted. So it was a lot of work, but yeah, there's that. And the helmet, as you can see, is a little bit loose, but again, that's the problem with getting those casted helmets. But yeah, it's all good. And other than that, the only thing left is the legs. So as you can see, I used Andrew's or AV Figures cape, the ARC Trooper Battlefront 2 cape. He made decals for this. If you want to, I mean, this is a pretty, like, it took a lot of effort to make this. If you don't want to do this, but you want to make a figure that is pretty much equally as cool, you can buy his decals. He sells them. Again, I'll actually link his site below, but yeah. And then, so the holsters are also his. I painted them black and I glued them onto the cape. Pretty much all of this is just this is basically a display figure. I'm never gonna play with this, but yeah, like I'm probably never gonna touch this. I'll put it in a case, which is the problem with painted figures, but it's whatever. I like it. Other than that, I painted the entirety of the legs. You can see all the knee pads, the little red splotches, and then the space where the boots go. He had a couple white patches, and so I made sure to be consistent with those, and I even carved out the hips so that he can actually, I'm going to take the helmet off, he can actually like move his joints without the paint scraping off. And you can see I painted in between the legs, and yeah, pretty cool. And you can see the black paint didn't rub off there. So yeah, and then as far as the head goes, I painted the neck piece black, and then I just gave him this random clone head. It's actually not a clone head. I don't know where it came from. I just found it in my bin and figured he should have a different face that wasn't the clone face, but yeah, it's still pretty cool, and that pretty much does it. So overall, probably one of my coolest figures that I've made, I'd say. You guys can tell me what you guys think below, and I will work on finishing some other figures. I'm currently working on Bo-Katan, Gar Saxon, and I'm going to be working on my History Through Figures project, which, if you don't know, I'll be announcing soon. I meant to get some episodes out earlier this summer, but I really just didn't. I've been having a lot of stuff going on, and I felt like making some Star Wars figures first, so, because I know a lot of you like Star Wars. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more, and this is goodbye, and have a nice day.